Yeah, I would guess you're maybe 70 years old. Do you mind sharing your age?
No, I'm madly in love with you. I'm 89.
My name is Grace Goff, and I'm 91 years old.
91 years young.
Well, I feel young. Unfortunately, I'm in good health. I am Alice L. Mills, and I am 94, and at the end of March I will be 95.
Well, my name is Rose Brady, Rose Ann Brady, and I was born in Ireland, and well, it's over 90 years ago. I'll be 95 next month.
My name is Donna Carper. I'm 84 years young.
My name is James Stephen with a V, Craig, and I'm 87 and a half.
Ho clo, ho bóng clo.
Jean Elizabeth Swing Castillo.
Wow. And Jean, what's the secret to 94 years of happiness and health?
Who knows? My name is Marguerite Holland. I have a nickname. Most people call me, my friends and family call me Bobby.
Were you called Barbie because you look like the
Bobby, no. Bobbie.
doll? Oh.
No, I was called Bobby because my sister couldn't say baby. She used to call me the Baba.
I want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Oh dear,
You think you can tell me the truth?
I met your type before,
Yeah,
but they let me out.
they did.
I was born on the wrong side of the tracks in Scarsdale, New York.
Why are you, as a New Yorker, living in Boston, and are you a Yankees fan?
Oh, hell no. I was a New York Giant fan, and my grandfather was a Yankee fan, and he teased me all the time. So I was a Yankee hater from way, way back, even before I got here. It's inbred.
You a big Red Sox fan?
Oh no, I wasn't a baseball fan. My mother was. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, see, my oldest brother used to talk baseball with her all the time. She'd get interested. Oh, and the thing that she died before I could get her to a game. She was never in Fenway Park, and that always made me feel bad that we never got her right to the Fenway Park to a game. There was no television. She used to listen to it on the radio. And we'd come home from school and she'd have the game on the radio. Shh. She wouldn't want to miss any of the... Shh.
My sister was out here married. She was home on a visit with her husband, and he hounded me every day to come to America, you know. And he used to say, it'd be nice for Mary to have a sister in America, you know. She doesn't have any sister in America. And it'd be nice for you to come. And so every day, this is what I heard, you know. Finally, one day I broke down and said, okay, I'll come, you know. So.
Flunked out of college, flunked out of nursing school. I don't know how to study. Had a wonderful marriage and 4 wonderful daughters.
Yes, I did marry, and I had a son and a daughter whom I raised with love and laughter. But unfortunately, my son only lived 7 years, but he was a delight.
My mother and dad had a cabin right by the highway, and the rest of the folks had cabins down by the lake. And so when I went down by the lake to say hello to them, and they all said, "Oh, we've met the man you should marry." And I was so mad, I just stomped home. And as it turned out, within 6 or 8 months, we were married.
I got married. I had 2 children, 1 boy and 1 girl. That's the standard approach. The boy should be older.
I have no family. All the rest of my family are dead. I'm the youngest of 10, and I had 6 brothers and 3 sisters, so they're all deceased.
What was it like being the youngest of 10?
Well, I was a kind of spoiled, I suppose, a little bit spoiled, but I enjoyed it. I liked it.
Yeah.
We had a little farm, and I loved to play with the little animals, the calves and the pigs, and all the hens and the chickens and all that. Chase them around.
My mother died when we were 15, when I was 15. And we had to move to Dorchester and live with my aunt. And that was pretty sad.
We have 5 children, and I made sure that the children and myself all got shots. And my husband did not like shots of any kind, and so he said, well, he wasn't going to get them because he was 40, and they were saying 40 and over, you don't need the shots. Well, that ended there, but within a couple of weeks he got polio, and he had 2 kinds of polio.
I've had a lot of unhappiness, but I never let it get me down. I just keep figuring everything's gonna be okay. Just hang in there, because nothing's perfect. And if you don't expect it to be, that's half the battle.
Oh, I loved being a mother. Everyone loves being a mother. Because they were delightful children. Sheila was the first. That was pretty frightening because I was only 19. And after quite a bit of labor, nothing was happening. So the doctor at the time said, well, it's enough of this, we'll do a section, cesarean. So I had a cesarean, and she weighed 9 pounds and 10 ounces. It's no wonder she wasn't going anywhere.
So my grandfather, her father, was actually a landowner, and he owned land, like sort of like farmland, and he actually came here for a few years to try to earn some money.
My husband, who was a city boy, when we went out, he ordered lobster thermidor, which is out of the shell and with a sherry flavored sauce. And I'd order boiled lobster and tear it apart, and he was very embarrassed.
A lot of the people in Scarsdale were bankers and Wall Street people, and to be a Democrat was really, you had a mark on you. I never knew a Democrat. And same, my wife is from Vermont, and she was a Republican because she'd never heard of a Democrat in her time.
Wow.
And we both became radical Democrats here.
Wow.
Living in the South End at the time, you were poor. Now if you live in the South End, you're rich. How time changes things and places.
The man next door had lovely gooseberries, which we used to love to steal.
Uh-oh. You didn't get caught.
Didn't get caught, We'd wait and he'd come to visit. He'd come up to visit every day. So as soon as he got into the house, the word went around, he's in. So we'd take off down and get our supply of the gooseberries.
I only have high school education, and I didn't finish. I didn't graduate because I left school and went to work. And you had to go to work when I was growing up. No one had any money. Nobody had any money. You were either rich or you were poor. No in between.
I've always had a feeling for diversity. And so to get with a group of women from various backgrounds, it was marvelous. We talked about all the sorts of things that women talk about, which,
Like what?
aha,
I don't know these things.
you don't, you're too young to learn. No, we talked about recipes and children and men.
What about men?
Yeah, exactly. I ain't telling you if you don't know by now. You need to watch Dr. Oz program and find out about that.
Well, he was from Nebraska, so he came up to Canada purposely to see what Canadians were like. And he found out.
When we had a date, he was not very tall, and I wore flat heel shoes, and so he knew I was going to say yes, which I think is kind of cute.
That's very cute.
We wanted to go to a private place, but we couldn't go very far because we had other engagements. So we parked by the cemetery. And he said, I want to ask you to marry me, if you don't mind the cemetery being the backdrop.
And you said yes.
And I said yes.
Well, who knew cemeteries were so romantic?
I'll say.
You know, we were soulmates. Our values were the same, and she was beautiful right to the end, but she was more beautiful inside. We both protested just about everything in sight.
Ô lũ mặt thôi à, nị cuốn xe cái hướng quay dịp thôi à.
Oh, so because it was like a blizzard, so actually the bus that she was on like got stuck, and the bus driver took her. There was a church right there, so bus driver took her into the church there to spend the night.
So I invited her, and the event was a concert at Symphony Hall one night. Louis Armstrong and Billie Holiday on the same bill. The only time they ever appeared on the same bill.
Wow.
So we went, and she was a jazz, and it was just a knockout.
I was nursing in England during the war, and the hospital, and we had a lot to contend with. We had a lot of air raids every night. Almost the sirens were going, and we'd have to rush to the air shelter. And of course, a bunch of Irish girls. There was a lot of Irish girls there, and of course, we'd check into the shelter, and then in about an hour we'd sneak out the back door and back to our room, you know, and have some tea and toast and do maybe a little bit of studying and go to bed.
I'm afraid I haven't got anything exciting to tell you. I broke my leg when I was 11.
How did that feel?
It hurt. Yeah, I went coasting, and smarty, I had to go up a little further than we should have gone, and next thing I know, I was in the city hospital with a broken leg.
I wanted to get a Rhodes Scholarship. I was not an engineer. I knew I wasn't. Didn't want to be, particularly. But at the time, I could only apply from New York or Massachusetts, where I was born and where I was at school. And Rhodes Scholarships had been a moratorium for all of the war years, about 6 years. So I don't know why I even thought I had a chance, but I wanted it, and I didn't get it. So I wanted to go. Again, ego damage. I wanted to go to the next place everybody wanted to go to. And this was not very good judgment. That was Harvard Business School, and I went.
Italy and France had the best food.
Well, I never done much cooking, to be quite honest. I didn't like it. My mother did the cooking always, you know, and then when I lived here, I lived with my sister, and she did the cooking. She was a good cook. So I didn't have to worry about cooking. I never bothered much about it. But I was able to make Irish bread. That was about the only thing I could do.
Oh, and my mother was a terrible cook. I didn't realize that until I got older, because I'm a good cook.
What do you cook? What are you good at?
Oh, you name it, I can cook it.
Pancakes?
Oh yeah, who can't make pancakes?
Steak and French fries?
Who can't make steak and French fries?
How about
How about a good loaf of Irish bread?
Ooh, that's you.
That's me. Delicious.
Tooralooraloora, tooralooralay, tooralooraloora. That's an Irish lullaby. Over. I don't know the words of it. Believe it or not.
Did your mom sing that to you?
Yeah, she did indeed, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, she did indeed. And my father too. My father was a good singer. My mother didn't have much of a singing voice, but didn't stop her from
Trying.
trying, you know.
Sur le pont d'Avignon, l'on danse.
Wow.
I know I wish that my mother had lived longer so that when I grew up I could make life easier for her. But God knows what he's doing. God must have figured she'd be happier gone. I like to think God knows what he's doing.
He's a wise man.
Are you listening?
Actually, my religion is basically golden rule, and it ain't easy to live by, because there is an occasional person that you'd rather punch than...
And how many people have you punched this morning?
Only 2.
I hope I'm not the third.
I never did understand the computer. I before I retired, though, starting to give lessons, you know, and I said, oh, to heck, I'm retiring soon, I won't be bothered taking anything. Now I wished I had, you know, because I don't know the heck what's going on, you know, and it's difficult not to know what to do with those things. But all my nieces and nephews are smart. They have no problem doing whatever I want. Yeah.
And are you going to be the next pope?
God, I hope not. The one that's the Pope now, he's doing a pretty good job. It's one hell of a job, though, isn't it?
Well, I'm pretty easygoing. I don't get upset easily. And if I do get upset about something, I get over it very quickly. I don't let it bother me.
And then how about this? You're 89 years old, even though you look 60.
Oh, you.
Tell me this much. I'm 29. What's good wisdom and advice to give to the next generation? What would you tell your children and your grandchildren?
Be nice. Be pleasant. Be polite. When you get on the subway, you're sitting down and a woman comes in, you should get up and give her your seat. Men don't do that anymore. No, you could fall on your face and they probably wouldn't even get up to help you up.
What's the key to living 95 years?
Staying upbeat, absolutely. And I always say they don't pay you any more for crying than for laughing. You might just as well look at the sunny side of it. In fact, if you have to deal with someone you don't really take to at first, if you work at it, you can usually find one point at which you agree. And that's the place to start. Not to be too wild. And don't think I'm old-fashioned because I say that, because that's a good way to be. And I think long run, you get more out of life that way?
I don't know. Take things as they come and adjust to them, I guess. I don't know.
I don't really know except to say, take one day at a time and accept it for what it is and make it better if you can.
I would say stay as broadly, with the broadest perspective as possible. Avoid an MBA. If you're going to do anything, take economics. And I guess I'm in favor of liberal arts education, and to try to stay and end up doing things that you love to do. And if it isn't work that you love, don't do it.
Oh, absolutely. Look on the positive side. Absolutely. There's, if you pay attention, you can usually find something positive. If you read the Winnie the Pooh books, you remember the donkey Eeyore. Well, he didn't take that approach. He thought it was going to be a party for his birthday, and it wasn't. And he said, "Oh, I knew all along it wasn't really for me." And if you take that approach to life, you get what you expect. So if you pay attention.
Yankee Doodle went to town upon his little pony. He stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni. Corn cobs twist your hair, cart wheels around you. Fiery dragons carry you off, and mortal pestles found you. And I'm glad to sing that to you because that's the way my grandmother sang it. And I don't know if anybody else knows that second part of the song, so I want to preserve it.
I've never heard it, but Carol O'Shaughnessy better watch out.
Fairy tales can come true, it can happen to you if you're young at heart. For it's hard, you will find, to be narrow of mind if you're young at heart. You can go to extremes with impossible schemes. You can laugh when your dreams fall apart at the seams. And life gets more exciting with each passing day. And love is either in your heart or on its way. Don't you know that it's worth every treasure on earth to be young at heart? For as rich as you are, it's much better by far to be young at heart. And if you should survive to 105, look at all you'll derive out of being alive. And here is the best part: you have a head start if you are among the very young at heart.